Hey there, this is Gabriel Zamora, and I'll be reviewing Sega and Platinum Games' Bayonetta, out now for the Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. For those of you who don't already know, Platinum Games was founded by many premier developers from Capcom's Team Clover, the team responsible for Resident Evil 4, God Hand, Okami, and Beautiful Joe. The director and creator of Bayonetta, Hideki Kamiya, happens to be the director and creator of the first Devil May Cry title as well. Devil May Cry defined the Twitch-based action game for the PlayStation 2 generation, and set the bar that all other action games of the generation would strive for. Bayonetta is Hideki Kamiya's return to the 3D action game, and he makes one hell of a comeback. Bayonetta uses elements from many of Team Clover's games to essentially evolve the action game for the new generation. No, it doesn't quite redefine the genre like Devil May Cry did, but it sets a new bar regardless for polish, depth, and sheer sense of scale. Bayonetta's combat is fast-paced and beautifully fluid. Her combo sets are absolutely massive, and she possesses a huge list of special attacks and finishers that can be strung together at any point in any combo, in addition to her ability to switch weapon sets on the fly. What's more, she can also charge any attack in a combo as well. We're talking sheer, monstrously large move lists. But so what, you wonder? How does a large move list top anything Ninja Gaiden, Devil May Cry, or God of War have already done? The answer is tightness. Yes, Bayonetta has a massive move list. However, this amounts to absolutely nothing without good defense, and Bayonetta shines here as well, epitomizing the easy to perform but hard to master phrase that action games should strive for. The only thing that keeps Bayonetta safe from enemy attack is her dodge move. By executing a dodge, Bayonetta backflips out of any attack, avoiding any damage while doing so. This simple technique is the keystone of combat. Every enemy attack has a specific wind-up and attack frame, and everything in the game can be avoided. It's up to the player to recognize when. Dodging right before Bayonetta gets hit triggers Witch Time, a much more aggressive defensive maneuver that slows down her enemies and allows her to dish out massive counterattack damage. Because interrupting enemy attacks is difficult, dodging becomes crucial to gameplay. Bayonetta ranks players based on their combo score, time taken during a fight, and damage taken. Bayonetta encourages players to play for a high score, because you're ranked at the end of every fight and at the end of every chapter. Of course, you could pigeonhole yourself and mash buttons to scrape by, but you'd be missing the entire point of the game by doing so. On top of great combat, the game boasts an interesting mix of J-pop and jazz that sounds silly on paper but fits nicely with the game. Add that to fantastic visuals, really some incredible fantasy settings and monster designs, boss fights that dwarf even God of War's bosses, and the fact that the game never takes itself seriously. And yes, the game's over-the-top silliness works in its favor, and you have AAA game material. What's more, figuring out and mastering the nuances of gameplay takes some time. Nuances like, for instance, the dodge offset, which allows players to continue combos even after dodging an attack. And the game boasts two higher difficulties, hard and non-stop infinite climax, which means you'll be playing the game for quite a while. Is the game perfect? Well, no. I won't spoil story events for you, but it could have used a bit of clearing up. I'm also not very fond of the film reel style cutscenes, and think they really should have been reserved only for flashbacks. Like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta features minigame-esque fights. The motorcycle segment and missile mission are both relatively fun, but utilize a completely different playstyle, meaning players need to readjust how to play just for these parts. The fact that you're ranked for these missions also kinda grinds my gears. Like God of War, the game has a few instant death situations as well. Ironically, because God of War doesn't rank you or even care that you die during these sequences, they are annoying but acceptable. Bayonetta does rank you, and using continues heavily compromises your end of chapter rank. Thus, players are put in a situation where, if they fail, they die and are forced to use a continue to redo the section. It's an unfortunate game design flaw. Next comes platforming. Bayonetta is an action game and does action right. Platforming should be left to platformers. It's nice that screwing up a jump is usually only penalized with some minor damage and a restart from wherever you fell off, like Okami or Zelda. It's still annoying though when some chapters are platform heavy. Finally, a word about the PS3 version. Sega is responsible for the port. The colors are a bit washed out, the frame rate stutters a bit more, the game runs at a lower frame rate in general, there is no install option, and the loading times are noticeably longer. If you have the option, play the game on the Xbox 360. Failing that though, The action is still just as good on the PS3 version, but the game is less polished. In the end, Bayonetta is a rock-solid action title that any action gamer owes themselves to experience.